ओम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम गोपिका जीवन स्मरणं गोविंदा गोविंदा सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। नमो नमः सद्गुरुभ्यः सद्गुरुभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो नमः सद्गुरुभ्यः सद्गुरुभ्यो नमो नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरह कातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। यस्वानुभावमखिल श्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षतां तमोन्धं संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनुम् उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां। योगीन्द्राय नमस्तस्मै शुकाय ब्रह्मरूपिणे संसारसर्पदष्टं यो विष्णुरातम् अमूमुचत् कालव्यालमुखघ्रास त्रासनिर्नाशहेतवे श्रीमद्भागवतं शास्त्रं कलौकीरेण भाषितम् एतस्मादपरं किञ्चित् मनःशुद्ध्येन विद्यते जन्मान्तरे भवेत् पुण्यं तदा भागवतं लभेत्। ज्ञानवैराग्यसम्पूर्णान् हरिभक्तिपरायणान् पूर्वाचार्यातहं वन्दे सम्प्रदायप्रवर्तकान्। भगवन्नाम साम्राज्य लक्ष्मी सर्वस्वविग्रहं श्रीमद्बोधेन्द्रयोगीन्द्र देशिकेन्द्रम् उपास्महे। कलिकालोचितं धर्मं नाम संकीर्तनात्मकं निर्णेतुम् अवतीर्णं तं प्रेमिकं सद्गुरुं भजे। हरे रामेति कृष्णेति नाम संकीर्तनं सदा लोकक्षेमाय कुर्वन्तं प्रेमिकं सद्गुरुं भजे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं। श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषिभिस्तत्क्षणात्। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। श्रीमद्भागवताख्योऽयं प्रत्यक्षः कृष्ण एव हि स्वीकृतोऽसि मया नाथ मुख्यर्थं भवसागरे। मनोरथो मदीयोऽयं सफलः सर्वथा त्वया निर्विघ्नेनैव कर्तव्यो दासोऽहं तव केशव। श्रीहरे नमः श्रीहरे नमः श्रीहरे नमः। गोपिका जीवन स्मरणं गोविंदा गोविंदा सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so we'll do a review from stanza 42, so I think about 20 stanzas each. Priya Srikumar, can you do 20, and Shanti, can you do 20?
Can I start?
Yeah, you can start, yeah.
तत्तादगच्छ भद्रं ते यमुनायास्तडं शुचि पुण्यं मधुवनं यत्र सान्निध्यं नित्यदा हरेः स्नात्वानुसवनं तस्मिन् काळिन्द्यासलिले शिवे कृत्वोचितानि निवसन् आत्मनः कल्पितासनः प्राणायामेन त्रिवृता प्राणेन्द्रियमनोमलं शनैर्व्युत्स्याभिध्यायेत् मनसा गुरुणा गुरुं प्रसादाभिमुखं शश्वत प्रसन्नवदने क्षणं सुनासं सुभ्रुवं चारुकपोलं सुरसुन्दरं तरुणं रमणीयाङ्गम् अरुणोष्टे क्षणाधरं प्रणताश्रयणं नृम्णं शरण्यं करुणार्णवं श्रीवत्साङ्गं घनश्यामं पुरुषं वनमालिनं शङ्खचक्रगदापद्मैः अभिव्यक्तचतुर्भुजं किरीटिनं कुण्डलिनं केयूरवलयान्वितं कौस्तुभाभरणग्रीवं पीतकौशेयवाससं काञ्चीकलापपर्यस्तं लसत्काञ्चननूपुरं दर्शनीयतमं शान्तं मनोनयनवर्धनं पद्भ्यां नखमणिश्रेण्या विलसद्भ्यां समर्चतां हृत्पद्मकर्णिकाधिष्ण्यम् आक्रम्यात्मन्यवस्थितं स्मयमानम् अभिध्यायेत सानुरागावलोकनं नियतेनैकभूतेन मनसा वरदर्शभम् एवं भगवतो रूपं सुभद्रं ध्यायतो मनः निर्वृत्या परया तूर्णं सम्पन्नं न निवर्तते जप्यश्च परमो गुह्यः श्रूयतां मे नृपात्मज यं सप्तरात्रं प्रपठन् पुमान् पश्यति खेचरान् ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय मन्त्रेणानेन देवस्य कुर्याद्द्रव्यमयीं बुधः सपर्यां विविधैर्द्रव्यैः देशकालविभागवित् सलिलैः शुचिभिर्माल्यैः वन्यैर्मूलफलादिभिः शस्ताङ्गुरान् शुकैश्चार्चेत तुलस्या प्रियया प्रभुं लब्ध्वा द्रव्यमयीमर्चां क्षित्यं भुवादिषु वार्चयेत् अभृतात्मा मुनिः शान्तो यदवाङ्मितवन्यभुग स्वेच्छावतारचरितैः अचिन्त्य निजमायया करिष्यद्युत्तमश्लोकः तध्यायेत् हृदययङ्गमं परिचर्या भगवतो यावत्यः पूर्वसेविताः तामन्त्रहृदयेनैव प्रयुज्यान्मन्त्रमूर्तये.
That word is an in sound. Prayunjyan.
परिचर्या भगवतो यावत्यः पूर्वसेविताः तामन्त्रहृदयेनैव प्रयुञ्ज्यान्मन्त्रमूर्तये. ओके. एवं कायेन मनसा वचसा च मनोगतं परिचर्यमाणो भगवान् भक्तिमत्परिचर्यया पुंसाममायिनां सम्यक् भजदां भाववर्धनः श्रेयो दिशत्यभिमदं यद्धर्मादिषु देहिनां विरक्तश्चेन्द्रियरतौ भक्तियोगेन भूयसा तं निरन्तरभावेन भजेताथा विमुक्तये इत्युक्तस्थं परिक्रम्य प्रणम्य च नृपार्थगः ययौ मधुवनं पुण्यं हरेश्चरणचर्चितं तपोवन.
You can stop there, Priya. Yeah, that's okay.
तपोवनं कदे तस्मिन् प्रविष्टोऽन्दपुरं मुनिः अर्हिदार्हणघोराज्ञा सुकाशीन उवाच तम्. नारद उवाच राजन् किं न्यायसे दीर्घं मुखेन परिशुष्यत किं वा नरिष्यते कामो धर्मो वार्धेन संयुतः. राजोवाच सूदो मे बालको ब्रह्मन् त्रैणेना करुणात्मना निर्वासितः 5 वर्षः सह मात्रा महान् कविः.
And the first line, first word, suto, short u. Suto me balako. I heard su sound, it's just short u.
Okay. Suto me balako brahman strainena na karunaatmana nirvasida 5 varshah. I think I lost the tune.
That's okay. Yeah, keep going.
Abhyanadam vane brahman masmatan tantyarpaham vrikaha shrandam sayanam kshutidam parimlanamukambujam अहो मे पददौद्रात्म्यं स्त्रीजितस्योपतारय योऽङ्गं भ्रेम्णारुरुक्षन्दं नाभ्यनन्दमसत्तमः. नारद उवाच मामाचुषस्वतनयं देवगुप्तं विशाम्बते तत्प्रभावमविज्ञाय प्रावृङ्क्ते यत्यशो जगत् सुदुष्करं कर्म कृत्वा लोकबालैरभिप्रभुः ऐष्यत्य ऐष्यच्चिरतो राजन् यशो विपुलयं स्तव मैत्री
second line, first word. Aishyatya chirato.
ऐष्यत्यचिरतो राजन् यशो विपुलयं स्तव मैत्रेय उवाच इति देवर्षिणा प्रोक्तं विश्रुत्य जगदीपतिः राजलक्ष्मीमनादृत्य पुत्रमेवान्वचिन्तयत् तत्राभिक्षिक्तप्रयतस्तामुपोष्य विभावरीं समाहितपर्यचरतृष्याते सेनपूरुषम्
And the second, and the first line on the prayataha. Anga visarga instead of the is. Okay, prayataha, comma. But the second line, samahita paryacharat, it becomes the it sound, the dr that is there, it becomes the it and then a r. So paryacharat, rishyadeshena purusham.
Okay. तत्राभिक्षिक्तप्रयतः तामुपोष्य विभावरीं समाहितपर्यचरत् ऋष्यादेशेन पूरुषं त्रिरात्रान्ते कबित्तपदरासनः आत्मवृद्धयनुसारेण माशं निन्येर्चयन् हरिं द्वितीयं च तदा मासं षष्ठे बको दिने दृणपर्णादिभिश्शीर्णैः कृदान्नोऽप्यर्चयत् विभुं तृतीयं चानयन् मासं नवमे हनि अपक्ष श्लोकम् उपतावत् समाधिना
Last word, upadhavat.
उपादावत् समाधिना चतुर्थमभिवैमासं द्वादशे हनि वायुभक्षो जितश्वासो ध्यायन् देवमदारयत् पञ्चमे मास्यनुप्राप्ते जितश्वासो नृपात्मजः ध्यायन् ब्रह्मपदैकेन तस्थौ स्थाणुरिवाचलः सर्वतो मन आकृष्य हृदि भूतेन्द्रियाशसं ध्यायन् भगवतो रूपं नात्राक्षीत् किञ्जनापरम्
The first line, last word, mato. Bhutendriya shayam.
भूतेन्द्रियाशयम् सर्वतो मन आकृष्य हृदि भूतेन्द्रियाशयम् ध्यायन् भगवतो रूपं नात्राक्षीत् किञ्चनापरम् आधारं मगधादीनां प्रधानपुरुषेश्वरं ब्रह्मतारयमाणस्य त्रयो लोकाश्च कम्बिरे यदैकबाधेन स यदैकबाधे न स पार्थिवार्भकस्तौ
Bakaha, visarga, is goes away. Parthivar bhakaha. And the is will take the visarga sound and the comma or the
तदङ्गुष्टनिपीडितामहि न नाम तत्रार्थमिपेन्द्र दृष्टिता तरीव सव्यदेरद पदे पते.
The first line, sorry, Shanti, and just on the first part, second half, maton, and the visarga kapra tastau tadangushtani piditamahi.
Okay, can you repeat it? Yeah.
The first line, yedekapadena sa parthivar bhakaha tasthau tadangushtani piditamahi.
यदैकबाधेन च पार्थिवार्भकः तस्थौ तदङ्गुष्टनिपीडितामहि. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
न नाम तत्रार्थमिपेन्द्रदिदृष्टिता तरीव सव्येतरदः पदे पदे तस्मिन्न भिद्या यदि विश्वमात्मनो द्वारं द्वारं निरुत्याशु मनन्यया धिया लोकानिरुच्छ्वासनिपीडितां वृषं स लोकपालक्षरणं ययुर्हरिं देवाऊचुः नैवं विदामो भगवान् प्राणरोधं लसत्वादम्
तत्त्वधाम्नः
त्वदाम्नः विदेहि तन्नो वृजिनात् विमोक्षं प्राप्ता वयं द्वां शरणं शरण्यं श्रीभगवानुवाच मा भैष्टबालं तपशो दुरत्ययान् निवर्दयिष्ये प्रदियादस्वधाम यदो हि वक्प्राणनिरोध आशी दौद्दानबाधिर्मयि सङ्गदात्मा.
It's first line, just on the word matto. First line, Duratyayat. The na will take a it sound when the comma comes. So tapaso Duratyayat.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay, and the second line when the after asit, the second part of the second line, Autana padir maisangatatma.
Okay, out.
Yato hi vah prana nirodha asit.
See. Okay.
Autana padir maisangatatma.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So this one will go to the Navamodhyaya. So I'm just going to say the first 5 stanzas meaning, and then when we come to the Dhruva Charitram, we'll see some of the stanzas meaning because it's a beautiful stuti, Dhruva stuti, sorry. So the previous class, we kind of saw how, Dhruva did the thing, and then because he was in union with the rest of the world, universal consciousness, everything came to a standstill. Everybody was feeling suffocated. And because of which they approached Bhagavan and said, you have to somehow go. So he says, okay, I know what is causing this. Uttanapadihi, the son of Uttanapada, is doing that penance. So I will then go and help him out. So with that, then Bhagavan Devas then get happy because Bhagavan is going to go and help this out. So he then goes. So now when he's going, the meditation that Dhruva has been doing based on the description that Narada Muni has given, that is now imprinted in his heart, imprinted in his mind, right? And he's just been focusing on that. And he's a 5-year-old boy. So he has a certain vision of what Bhagavan is based on what Narada Muni has said. So if somebody else comes and stand in front and said, I am that Narayana, he's not going to believe. That's number one. And the second thing is he's just so entrenched in meditation, standing on his 1 feet, right? He's not even breathing. He's completely put everything to a stop. So how do you get him to come out of that? For us, it's very easy. Somebody calls our name, we will turn back, right? Our meditation will get blocked. So for how do you get Dhruva out of that state? So then Bhagavan had to know, okay, what is the form that Dhruva is meditating on? And that form which is in Dhruva's mind or heart has to disappear. Because the moment that thing disappears, then Dhruva's eyes are going to open. So that's what happens. So for an instant, that form that he's meditating on goes away from his mind. So Dhruva suddenly he gets perturbed and he opens his eyes and he sees that exact form standing in front of him. So that's how Dhruva knows. So the person I'm meditating on is a person standing in front of me. So that is Narayana who has actually come on whom I've been meditating, right? So when that happens, and then, like anyway, we see Bhagavan, the first thing you have to do is you have to Shashtanga Namaskaram, which is what Dhruva does. So it says he just falls down like a rod on the floor, right? Lies down flat on the ground and first does a Namaskaram. Now he's just in a high level of ecstasy, right? So he says because he doesn't know what to do. He's a small boy. So he says through his eyes, he's drinking the beauty, and then he's just virtually kissing Bhagavan through his lips. And then virtually through his hands, he's embracing because he doesn't know what he's allowed to do, what he cannot do because he's a small boy. So he's just doing it all through his minds. And now, when he now wants to offer prayers. Now, what is the one thing he knows? The only mantram he knows is Om No Bhagavate Vasudeva. He doesn't know anything else. He has no knowledge. How will you praise somebody who's like the great Bhagavan Paramatma is standing in front? How would you praise, right? He also doesn't know what he has to do. So at that time, he's just wondering in his mind, how do I praise this Bhagavan who's actually standing in front of me? No, Bhagavan knows that, right? He knows the condition that Dhruva is. So he then goes and stanza 4. Pasparshabhalam kripaya kapole. So he then goes and takes his conch, which is the embodiment of the Vedas, and then touches it on Dhruva's cheeks. So the moment he touches that on Dhruva's cheeks, Suddenly, Dhruva now knows everything that is to be known. So he is now in, he knows everything that is to be known. There's nothing else that Dhruva needs to know, right? In terms of what the Brahman is and how he's actually connected with all the beings. And he now has this deep realization. Once he has the deep realization and he has absolutely all the knowledge he needs, he now then does the stuti, which is the Dhruva stuti, right? So he does 12 stanzas of Dhruva stuti. So, the Dwadashakshari mantram that Narada taught him, Om No Bhagavate Vasudeva, is also 12 letters. And now he also does 12 stanzas of stuti, right, to Bhagavan, which is from stanza 6 to 17, right? So some of them are beautiful stanzas. So we'll cover the meaning at that. So with this, we'll jump into the first here. Let me see who I have today. I know a lot of people are out today. Priya Sriram, you can be a student, and Jay Sri Shankar, you can be a student. Maitreyo Vacha, Ta evam utsanna bhaya urukrame, comma, Kritavanamah prayayus tribishtapam, Sahasra Shirshapi Tato Garutmatha, comma, Madhorvanam Britya Didrikshaya Gataha. So yes, Sahasra Shirsha refers to the Sahasra Shirsha, Purusha from Purusha Suktam. So that Purusha now decides to mount on Garuda and then come and give the vision to Dhruva. Maitreyo Vacha, Ta eva mutsanna bhaya urukrame, Kritabhanamah prayayustrivishtapam, Sahasra Shirshapi tato garutmata, Madhorvanam Britya Dhidrikshaya Gataha.
Maitreya Uvacha, Ta eva mutsanna bhaya urukrame, Kritavanamah prayayustrivishtapam, Sahasra Shirshapi tato garutmata, Madhorvanam Brityadidrikshaya Gataha.
Maitreyovacha ta evam utsanabhaya urukrame kritavanaamaf prayustrivishtapam sahasra shirshapi tato garutmata madhorvanam bhritya didrikshaya gataha.
The first line, Jayashri, evam utsanna, double na, okay, the first
Ta
word.
evam utsanna, yeah, double na, yeah, okay, sorry.
Savai dhiya yoga vipaka tivraya, comma, Hrit Padma Koshe Spuritam Tadit Prabham Tirohitam Sahasaivopa Lakshya, comma, Bahihi, is Bahis Stitam Tadavastam Dadarsha. Hrit Padma Koshe, in the cavity of the heart, lotus of his heart where he is meditating on, whatever was there, Bahi means outside. Bahi Stitam was, that form was standing outside. Savaidhiya yoga vipaka tivraya Hritpadma koshe sphuritam tadit prabham Tirohitam sahasaivopa Bahistitam tadavastam dadarsha.
Savaidhiya yoga vipaka tivraya Hritpadma koshe spuritam tadit prabham Tirohitam sahasaivopa Bahistitam tadavastam dadarsha.
Savaidhiya yoga vipaka tivraya hritpadma koshe spuritam tadit prabham tirohitam sahasaivopalakshya bahistitam tadavastam dadarsha.
Tad darshanena gata sadvasaha, you have to say that visarga, sadvasaha kshitau. So if we have kshitava, that becomes a au, and then we're going to put a comma. Kshitau, comma. Next word will start with a a. Avandatangam vinamaya dandavat drigbhyam prapashyan prapibhannivarbhakaha. One long word. That ish goes away. Visarga. Prapibhannivarbhakaha. Chumbhan nivasyena bhujairivashlishan. Taddarshanena sadvasaha kshitau avandatangam vinamaya dandavat drigbhyam prapashyan prapibhannivarbhakaha chumbhan nivasyena bhujairivashlishan. Oh, Priya, mute it.
Sorry. तद्दर्शनेनागतसाध्वसः क्षितौ अवन्दताङ्गं विनमय्य दण्डवत् दृग्भ्यां प्रपश्यन् प्रपिबन्निवार्बकः चुम्बन्निवास्येन भुजैरिवाश्लिषन्
तद्दर्शनेनागतसाध्वसः क्षितौ अवन्दताङ्गं विनमय्य दण्डवत् दृग्भ्यां प्रपश्यन् प्रपिबन्निवार्बकः चुम्बन्निवास्येन भुजैरिवाश्लिषन्
Tatam Vivakshantam, breaking at that mark, Vivakshantam Atadvidham Harihi Visarga comma. Next word, the ir goes away. Jnatvasya sarvasya cha hridyavastitah kritanjalim brahma mayena kambuna, comma, pasparsha balam kripaya kapole. Satam vivakshantamatadvidham harihi ज्ञात्वास्य सर्वस्य च हृद्यवस्थितः कृताञ्जलिं ब्रह्ममयेन कम्भुना पस्पर्शभालं कृपया कपोले.
सतं विवक्षन्तम् अतद्विदं हरिः ज्ञात्वास्य सर्वस्य च हृद्यवस्थितः कृताञ्जलिं ब्रह्ममयेन कम्बुना पस्पर्शबालं कृपया कपोले.
सतं विवक्षन्तम् अतद्विदं हरिः ज्ञात्वास्य सर्वस्य च हृद्यवस्थितः कृताञ्जलिं ब्रह्ममयेन कम्बुना पस्पर्शबालं कृपया कपोले.
सवै तदैव प्रतिपादितां गिरं, दैवीं परिज्ञात परात्म निर्णयः तं भक्ति bhavobhyagrinat asatvaram. That's a long word. You can break it that da if you want. Bhakti bhavobhyagrinat asatvaram, parishrutorushravasam dhruva kshitihi. Savaitadhaiva pratipaditam giram daivim parignata paratma nirnayah tam bhakti bhavobhyagrinada satvaram parishrutorushravasam dhruva kshitihi.
स वै तदैव प्रतिपादितां गिरं दैवीं परिज्ञातपरात्मनिर्णयः तं भक्तिभावोऽभ्यगृणाद सत्वरं परिश्रुतोरुश्रवसं ध्रुवक्षितिः.
स वै तदैव प्रतिपादिताङ्गिरं दैवीं परिज्ञातपरमात्मनिर्णयः तं भक्तिभावोऽभ्यगृणाद् असत्वरं परिश्रितोरुश्रवसं ध्रुवक्षितिः.
First line, Jayashree, Paratma Nirnayah.
வேற மாதிரி சொன்னேன்னா
You said Paramatma, just
ஓ
Paratma.
दैवीं परिज्ञातपरात्मनिर्णयः. Okay, thank you.
Dhruva Vacha. So because Dhruva now he's touched with Bhagavan, so his stuti is going to be like, it's a condensed, right? So he's able to express it in the right words. So when we translate it, it is going to be very hard to convey the thing, so essence of what he's telling, right? But we'll do some things I'll explain. Dhruva Vacha. Yontaf pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptam, sanjeevayathyakhila, one word, shakti dharas swadhamna anyamsha hasta charana shravana tvagadin, prana namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. Says you have now, by touching, you have now entered into me. So by entering into me, he says my hasta, my charana, my hands, my legs, my ears, and all of these have now woken up, because previously it was just sleeping, right? The senses did not know how to say anything or do anything. Now they've all with life. So with all of this, and then with the power of speech which you have given me, which Dhruva was not having as a 5-year-old boy, with that, I am going to now do the stuti to you, right? So I'm doing the namaskarams to you, who's the Purusha.
Rajesh, my mom is paralyzed to her right? So எங்க அம்மாக்கு வந்து யாரோ சொன்னாலாம் இந்த particular ஸ்லோகம், இந்த யோந்த பிரவிஷ்ய is like for you to regain all that hasta charana and whatever is paralyzed. That's what this is, the slokam that you have to chant. She's marked it here.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is essentially saying that you have entered into me and you have livened every part of my body. So, because of that, I am now able to offer this namaskarams to you, right? Because of that. Yeah. Dhruhauvacha yontah pravisya mama vachamimam prasuptam sanjeevayatya shaktidhara swadhamna anyamscha hastacharana shravanatvagadin prana namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam.
ध्रुव उवाच योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्
ध्रुव उवाच योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचम् इमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्
Ekas tvameva bhagavanidam atma shaktya, mayakhayoru gunaya mahadadya shesham सृष्ट्वानुविश्य पुरुषस्तदसत् गुणेषु नानेव दारुषु विभावसु वद्भिभासि. He says, you're at the end of the day, this is a lot of this is going to be consistent with what others have also prayed, saying that there's only one of you, right? Everything is just that one you but because if you're different energies, you just manifest into different shapes and different forms and different sizes and all of it. Each of that which is there, just like how the fire is one, but when it enters into different woods, it might burn in different colors, but the fire is the same. So it is you who is reflecting in all these different material things in different shapes and forms. Ekastvameva bhagavannidamaatmashaktya मायाख्ययोर्गुणया महदाद्यशेषं सृष्ट्वानुविश्य पुरुषस्तदसद्गुणेषु नानेव धारुषु विभावसु वद्भिभासि.
एकस्त्वमेव भगवन्निदमात्मशक्त्या मायाख्ययोरुगुणया महदाद्यशेदं सृष्ट्वानुविश्य पुरुषस्तदसद्गुणेषु नानेव दारुषु विभावसु वद्भिभासि.
एकस्त्वमेव भगवन्निदम् आत्मशक्त्या मायाख्ययोरुगुणया महदाद्यशेषं सृष्ट्वानुविश्य पुरुषस्तदसद् गुणेषु नानेव दारुषु विभावसु वद्भिभासि.
त्वद्दत्तया vayunayedam achashta vishwam, if you want to break it, that comma, supta prabhuddha ivanatha bhavat prapannaha tasyapa vargya sharanam tava padamulam, comma, vismaryate krita vidha katamartha bandho. I think even Brahma, when the first day when he got up, he did not have any knowledge. He was missing all the knowledge. So even to that Brahma, who's responsible for all the creation, you are the one who has given this, you've given all the knowledge that is required. So how can somebody who has any knowledge, like Dhruva says, I now have knowledge because of you. How can I remain without praising you? It doesn't make sense. I have to praise you because that is what the purpose of all this knowledge is for. त्वद्दत्तया वयुनयेदमचष्ट विश्वं सुप्त प्रबुद्ध इव नाथ भवत्प्रपन्नः तस्यापवर्ग्य शरणं तव पादमूलं विस्मर्यते कृतविदा कथमार्तबन्धो.
त्वद्दत्तया वयुनमेदमचष्ट विश्वं सुप्तप्रबुद्ध इव नाथ भवत्प्रपन्नः तस्यापवर्ग्य शरणं तव पादमूलं विस्मर्यते कृतविदा कथमार्तबन्धो.
त्वद्दत्तया वयुनयेदमचष्ट विश्वं सुप्तप्रबुद्ध इव नाथ भवत्प्रपन्नः तस्यापवर्ग्य शरणं तव पादमूलं विस्मर्यते कृतविदा कथमार्तबन्धो. Rajesh, on the first line, the second word, where do you actually break it? It is achashta vishwam, is it?
That is the only place you can break it. Vayunayedam achashta vishwam, if you want.
Vayunayedam achashta vishwam. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Nunam vimushta mathayas tava mayayate, comma, ye tvam bhavapyaya vimokshanam anya hetoho archanti kalpaka tarum kunapopa bhogyam, put a im at the end of that line, comma. Next line, michanti becomes ichanti. Ichanti yat sparshajam nirayepi nrunam. So this is very the first dashakam of Narayaniam, that's 8th stanza. When you do Namranam Sannidhate, it's Ittam Nishesha Labhyo Niravadika Palaha Parijato Hare Tvam. So it's missing you are Parijata, the one who can actually give anything you want, including liberation. So why will I ask for other material things, right? So he is a little bit referencing that, saying that, and this is important because it's going to come a little bit later as well in Dhruva's state of mind. But he's saying that people who are asking for anything which is to satisfy the senses are not ready to even ask any boon from you, because they're not ready. Because if they're asking for anything which is material in nature, or is asking for anything that satisfies the senses, they are not yet ready. Because when you are there, why will you ask for anything other than getting liberated when you're seeing Narayana right in front of you? So he says that is because of the Maya, your influence. People are so distorted with their thoughts that you are standing in front and they go ask for other sensory benefits instead of asking for liberation. नूनं विमुष्टमतयस्तव माययाते ये त्वां भवाप्यय विमोक्षणमन्यहेतोः अर्चन्ति कल्पकतरुं कुनपोपभोग्यम् इच्छन्ति यत्स्पर्शजं निरयेऽपि नृणाम्.
नूनं विमुष्टमतयस्तव माययाते ये त्वां भवाप्यय विमोक्षणमन्यहेतोः अर्चन्ति कल्पकतरुं कुणपोपभोग्यम् इच्छन्ति यत्स्पर्शजं निरयेऽपि नृणाम्.
नूनं विमुष्टमतयस्तव माययाते ये त्वां भवाप्ययविमोक्षणम् अन्यहेतोः अर्चन्ति कल्पकतरुं कुणपोपभोग्यम् इच्छन्ति यत्स्पर्शजं निरयेऽपि नृणाम्.
या निर्वृतिस् तनुभृतां तव पाद पद्म, ध्यानात् भवज जन कथा श्रवणेन वा स्यात् सा ब्रह्मणि स्वमहिमन्यपि नाथ मा भूत्, किं त्वन्तकासि लुलितात् पततां विमानात्. So he says this is very similar to I'm trying to think if it was Uddhava or who said, where they said that just listening to your glories and talking about your activities and talking about your Leela, everything itself is so blissful that why would somebody even want liberation? Because in your liberation, then you're already merged with Bhagavan. I will not get an opportunity to talk about you. I will not get an opportunity to listen to you. So he says, I don't even want that liberation. I just want to have an opportunity to be always thinking about you and talking and hearing about you. So when such an opportunity exists, nobody even wants liberation. Why would somebody wants for getting Swargam? Because Swargam or any of this upper planetary systems you go, you have to be born again, because once the karma is extinguished, you have to take birth again. So why would someone even wish for that when they should not even be wishing for liberation?
Swamahima Vibhava Kunta Vaikunta varumla adula Narayanithula.
ஆமா, சுபவாக்குண்ட வைகுண்ட, ஆமா, எதுல வருது I forget. Kunta Vaikuntha Roop, yeah. So Mahima Vibhava Kunta Vaikuntha Roopam, something like that. Yeah, it'll come here. Ya nirvritis tanubhritam tava. I already did that, right? Yeah. Ya nirvritis tanubhritam tava pada padma dhyanat bhavajjana katha shravane navasyat sa brahmani swamahimanyaphi nathama bhut kim tvantakasi lulitat patatam vimhanat.
या निर्वृतिस्तनुभृतां तव पादपद्मध्यानात् भवज्जनकथा श्रवणेन वा स्यात् सा ब्रह्मणि स्वमहिमन्यपि नाथमाभूत् किं त्वन्तकासि लुलितात् पततां विमानात्.
या निर्वृतिस्तनुभृतां तव पादपद्म ध्यानात् भवज्जनकथा श्रवणेन वा स्यात् सा ब्रह्मणि स्वमहिमन्यपि नातमाभूत् किं त्वन्तकासि लुलितात् पततां विमानात्
भक्तिं मुहुः प्रवहतां त्वयि मे प्रसंगो भूयात् अनंत महताम् अमलाशयानां येनांजसोल्भनमुरु व्यसनम. Cannot break that word, so until muru you can say. So येनांजसोल्भनमुरु व्यसनम भवाब्धिम नेष्ये भवत् गुण कथामृत पान मत्तः. So this is again one of some of this same thing every person asks, right? Where they say that, the only thing I want, see, he's standing in front of Bhagavan right now. So he knows that this is only going to continue for some amount of time. At some point, Bhagavan is going to disappear, right? And he has to go back to his normal life. So he can't just say what he wants to think of what he needs in his future. So he's saying the only thing I want is association with your devotees. He says that is the only thing I'm asking for, right? And nothing else is needed, because this moment of being with you cannot go away. Now, you're going to go away, but what will not go away is if I'm staying with your devotees, then they're always going to be talking about you, always going to be thinking about you, which means I will also be associated with them and continue to do that, right? Which is what every, Uddhava will say, everybody will say the same thing is, it cannot be a one-time event. It has to be an always continuous event, right, of having association with the devotees. Bhaktim muhuh pravahataam tvai me prasango bhuyadανantamahatam amalashayanam yenanjasolbhanamuru vyasanam bhavabdhim neshe bhavat guna kathamritapanamattah.
Bhaktim muhuः pravahataam tvai me prasango bhuyadανantamahatam amalashayanam येनाञ्जसोल्बणमुरु व्यसनं भवाब्धिं नेष्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्तः.
भक्तिं मुहुः प्रवहतां त्वयि मे प्रसंगो भूयादनन्तमहताम् अमलाशयानां येनाञ्जसोल्बणमुरु व्यसनं भवाब्धिं नेष्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्तः.
We'll switch. Satya, you can be a student, and Ramesh, you can be a student. Let me rush through some of this. Tena smarantya titharam priyamisha martyam, e chanvadas sutha suhrid griha vitta daraha ye twabja nabha bhavadiya padara vinda plus saugandhya lubdha hridayeshu krita prasangaha. Tena smarantyatitaram priyamishamartyam ye chanvadasuta suhrid grihavittadharaha ye tvabjanabha bhavadiya padaravinda saugandhya lupta hridayeshu krita prasangaha.
तेन स्मरन्त्यतितरां प्रियमीशमर्त्यं ये चान्वदः सुहृद என்ன word அது?
Suhrid griha.
அது கிருஹ, okay. ये चान्वदः सुहृद गृहवित्तदाराः ये त्वब्जनाभ भवदीय पदारविन्दः सौगन्ध्यलुब्धहृदयेषु कृतप्रसङ्गाः.
तेन स्मरन्त्यतितरां प्रियमीशमर्त्यं ये चात्मनः सुदहृदहवित्रताराः ये द्वप्जनापवतीयपतारविन्द सौगन्ध्यलुप्तहृदयेषु कृतप्रसङ्गाः.
The second line, last part, sutha suhrid griha vittadharaha.
ये चान्वत सुद गृह
Suhrid.
सुहृद, okay, सुत वित्तधारा.
Yeah. Tiryang naga dvija sarisripa deva daitya plus martyadhibh parichitam sadasat vishesham Rupam stavishtamajate mahadadhyanekam, comma, natah param parama vedmina yatra vadaha. Tiryang nagar dvijasari sripadeva daitya martyadibhih parichitam sadasat vishesham rupam stavishtamajate mahadadhyanekam natah param parama vedmina yatra vadaha.
तिर्यं नगद् द्विजसरी सरीसृसदेव दैत्यमर्त्यादिभिः परिचितं सदसद्विशेषं रूपं स्तविष्टमजते महदाद्यनेकं नातः परं परमवेद्मि न यत्र वादः
दिव्यङ्नक्त विच शरीरश्रुपते देवैत्य मर्त्यादिभिः परिचितं सदसत् विशेषं रूपं स्तविष्टमजतो महात्यनेकं नादः परं परमवेद्यन यत्र वातः.
And the third line, stavishtamajate mahadadhyanekam.
Rupam stavishtamajate mahatatyanekam.
Yeah. So here he's
Rajesh,
saying, yeah. Yeah.
The last part, is it Natha, the second tha or the first?
First tha, natha. Yeah, first
Okay.
tha, natha.
Thank you.
So he's saying, like, when they say one way, because we don't get to see Bhagavan. So they say one of the ways is you'd see the things that are created and think of those as creation. So somebody has created it, so it's come. So, previously I used to know that looking at everything that is there, that is all like your energy, which is showing in all these forms. But says now that debate has come to an end for me, because I am seeing you right now in front of me is my direct vision. Right? So all of the realization that I used to have previously, that this used to be you because of your energy, is now gone, because I now have concrete proof that you are standing in front of me. Kalpanta etharakhilam chatarena grinnan, comma, shete puman swa drigananta sakas tadanke yennabhi sindhu ruha kanchana loka padma, put a plus, Garbhe Dyuman Bhagavate Pranatosmi Tasmai. Again, this is some of this, the one into whom everything actually goes away into at the end of the Kalpa, and then who then comes out, and then again the lotus Padmam comes up and Brahma is there. So I understand you are that Bhagavan, right? Into whom everything goes and from whom everything comes. So to you, my Asmi Namaskarams to you. Kalpantayedadakhilam jhatarena grinnan shete puman swadrigananta sakastadanke yennabhisinduruha kanchana loka padma garbhe dhyuman bhagavate pranatosmi tasmai.
कल्पान्त एतदखिलं जठरेण गृह्णन् शेते पुमान् स्वदृगनन्तः सकस्तदङ्गे यन्नाभिसिन्धुरुह काञ्चन लोकपद्मगर्भे द्युमान् भगवते प्रणतोऽस्मि तस्मै
कल्पान्तयेततकिलं जठरेण गृह्णन् सेते पुमान् स्वदृगनन्द शकसस्ततङ्के यन्नाभिसिन्धु गृह काञ्चन लोकपद्म गर्भे द्युमान् भगवते प्रणतोऽस्मि तस्मै.
Second line, just the last part, sakas tadanke. Second line, last, sakas tadanke.
Ete pumaन् स्वदृगनन्द शकसस्ततङ्के.
Sakas tadanke.
Sakastatange.
Yeah, and you are adding an extra khanga, sakas, yeah. Tvam nitya mukta parishuddha vibhuddha atma, comma, kutastha adi purusho bhagavams tredishah yad bhudyavasthitham. So up to that ma, okay, you can break it, that ma, put a im there. Yad bhudyavasthitham akhanditaya swa drishtya, then put a plus, drashtastitavadhimako, cannot break that word, drashtastitavadhimako vyatirikta ase. त्वं नित्यमुक्तपरिशुद्धविबुद्ध आत्मा कूटस्थ आदिपुरुषो भगवांस्त्र्यधीशः यद्बुद्ध्यवस्थितमखण्डितया स्वदृष्ट्या द्रष्टास्थितावदिमखो व्यतिरिक्त आसे.
Rajeshji, Yadbudhya Vastidi or Vastida?
Oh, vastiti, yeah, sorry.
त्वं नित्यमुक्तपरिशुद्धविबुद्ध आत्मा कूटस्थ आदिपुरुषो त्रयदीशः वा
त्र्यधीशः
त्रयदीशः अखण्डितया स्वदृष्ट्या together, right?
Yeah.
यद्बुद्ध्यवस्थितिमखण्डितया स्वदृष्ट्या द्रष्टास्थितावदिमको व्यतिरिक्त आस्ते.
Yeah, correct. You can't break too much there, so you can't help. Yeah.
त्वं नित्यमुक्तपरिशुद्धविबुद्धात्मा कूटस्थ आदिपुरुषो भगवांस्त्रयतीशः यद्भूत्यवस्थितमखण्डितया स्वसृष्ट्या दृष्टास्थितावतिमको व्यतिरिक्त आशेषे or
Ase, yeah. And then go one second. Fourth line, first word, Ramesh, is drashtasti. Dra sound. Drashtasti tavadi. Okay. And then
okay.
Yeah, and then the second line, last word, bhagavams triya. It's not traya. It's not a full tra. It's just a half tra. So triyadishaha. Yeah. Go ahead, Jeshri.
பகவான் இருக்கு சாரி இம்முன்னு மாத்திக்கிறோமா
அது see Bhagavan, okay, but there is a, it should be like a dot and the is should be there. Bhagavans Triyadishaha.
இம்மு சொல்லணுமா எப்படி சொல்லணும் சொல்லுங்க ஒரு
நிமிஷம். in is the right way because the is coming. So Bhagavans Triyadishaha.
Oh, Bhagavans சொல்லலாம். Bhagavans. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Yasmin viruddha gatayo kyanisham patanti, vidyadayo vividha shaktaya anupurvyat tat brahma vishwa bhavamekam anantamadhyam. So put an im at the end of that line. Anantamadhyam, next line, that mananda that is there becomes ananda. Ananda matram avikaramaham prapadhye. Yasmin viruddhagatayo hyanisham patanti vidyadayo vividha shaktaya anupurvyat tat brahma vishwabhavamekam anantamadhyam anandamatram avikaramaham prapadhye.
Yasmin viruddhagatayo hyanisham patanti vidyadayo vividha shaktaya anupurvyat tad brahma vishwabhavamekam anantamadhyam anandamatram avikaramaham prapadhye.
यस्मिन् विरुद्धकदयो ह्यनिशं पदन्ति विद्यातयो विविधशक्त्य अनुपूर्वयात् तद्ब्रह्म विश्वभवमेकनन्दमाद्यम् आनन्दमात्रं विकारमहं प्रपद्ये.
Second line, last word, anupurvyat. So just long a there.
Anupurvyat. Okay.
Anupurvyat. Yeah. Satya shisho hi bhagavans. Again, the same thing. Bhagavan in sound is sound. Bhagavans tava pada padmam. Put a im, comma. Next line, the mashish becomes ashish. Ashish tathanu bhajataf purushartha murtehe appeva marya bhagavan paripati deenan, comma, vashreva vatsakam anugraha katharosman. So the last thing, it is saying that, when if you trust Bhagavan, right? He says, just like how there are people like me who, this is Dhruva say that, no, we are ignorant, we don't know what to ask, what to do. But just like how when a new calf is born, the responsibility of the cow to make sure the calf is getting fed and it will take care. That's what we don't understand. That we come and ask for things, right? When in reality, we should not be asking for things, because it's your responsibility when I surrender that you know what to give, when to give, and how to give, right? And then you will give it. But out of ignorance, we come and ask all of these things. Satyashisho, Satyashisho hi bhagavanstava pada padmam आशीस्ततानुभजतः पुरुषार्थमूर्तेः अप्येवमर्य भगवान् परिपाति दीनान् वाश्रेव वत्सकमनुग्रहकातरोऽस्मान्
सत्याशिषो हि भगवंस्तव पादपद्मम् आशीस्ततानुभजतः पुरुषार्थमूर्तेः अप्येवमर्य भगवान् परिपाति दीनान् वाश्रेव वत्सकमनुग्रहकातरोऽस्मान्
सत्याशिषे हि भगवांस्तव पादपद्मम् आशीस्ततानुभजतः पुरुषार्थमूर्तेः अभ्येवमार्य भगवान् परिपाति दीनान् वाश्रेव वत्सकमनुग्रहकातरोऽस्मान्.
And the first word, Satyashisho. Okay, first word.
Satyashisho.
Yeah. Maitreyo vacha athabhishtut evam vai, sat sankalpena dhimata bhrityanurakto bhagavan, prati nandhyedam abravit. You can break it that ma. Maitreyo vacha athabhishtut evam vai sat sankalpena dhimata bhrityanurakto bhagavan pratinandhyedam abravit.
मैत्रेय उवाच अथाभिष्टुत एवं वै सत्सङ्कल्पेन धीमता भृत्यानुरक्तो भगवान् प्रतिनन्द्य.
Oh, Satya, we lost you. I think she dropped. Okay, Ramesh, go ahead. Yeah, I think she got disconnected.
Adobi bishtudayevam vai satsangakalpena dhimata bhrityanurakto bhagavan pradinandayetamabravit.
And the pratinandhyedam.
Pratinandhyedam.
Abravit, yeah.
Or split pandra.
Pratinandhyedam abravit. Yeah. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. Let me just message Satya in case she's not realized. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. Vedaham te vyavasitam, hridi rajanya balaka tat prayachami bhadram te, durapamapi subrata. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. Vedaham te vyavasitam hridi rajanya balaka tat prayachami bhadram te durapamapi subrata.
I
don't know where she is, yeah.
Vedaham devya sitam hridi rajnya palakaha tatprayachami patram te durabamapi suvrataha. Durabamapi suvrata.
Yeah, I think she's not back. Okay, anyone else wants to just continue for a few minutes, another 5 minutes? Okay, Anandji, you can give. Nanyair adhishtitam bhadra, yat bhrajishnu dhruva kshitihi, yatra graharkshat taranam, jyotisham chakramahitam. Nanyair adhishtitam bhadra, yat bhrajishnu dhruva kshitihi, yatra graharkshataranam jyotisham chakramahitam.
Jnaneraadhishthidam bhadra yadbrajishnu dhruvashchidi yatra graharshatarana jyotisham chakramahitam.
Jnaneraadhishthidam bhadra yadbrajishnu dhruvashchitihi yadra grahakshataranam ज्योतिषां चक्रमाहितम्.
ध्रुवक्षितिः इति विसर्ग अल्ल क्षिति पटो.
Rajesh, on the second line, there are 3 tongue twisters, right? Yatra gra harkshava. How do you say that?
Gra harksha.
Gra harksha. Okay, thanks.
Gra a ir ksha.
Yeah, okay,
Gra
thanks.
harksha. Okay.
Rajesh, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can continue from the 21. Okay, next stanza.
Okay.
Medyam go chakra vat sthasnu, comma, purastat kalpavasinam dharmogneh kashyapash shukro, comma, munayo ye vanaukasah charanti dakshini kritya, comma, भ्रमन्तो यत् सतारकाः. मेढ्यां गोचक्रवत्स्थास्नु परस्तात् कल्पवासिनां धर्मोऽग्निः कश्यपः शुक्रो मुनयो ये वनौकसः चरन्ति दक्षिणीकृत्य भ्रमन्तो यत्सतारकाः.
मेट्यां गोचक्रवत्सतास्नु परस्तात् कल्पवासिनां धर्मोऽग्निः कश्यपः शुक्रो मुनयो ये वनौकसः चरन्ति दक्षिणीकृत्य भ्रमन्तो यत्सतारकाः.
मेट्यां को चक्रवत्सतास्नुः परस्तात् कल्पवासिनां धर्मोऽग्नि कश्यप शुक्रो मुनयो यो वनौकशक शरन्ति दक्षिणकृत्य प्रमन्तो यत्सता प्रमन्तो यत्सतारकाः.
Yeah. And the second line mattum munayo ye, not yo, ye vanaukasah. Prastite tu vanam pitra, comma, datva gam dharma samshrayah षट् त्रिंशत् वर्ष sahasram, comma, rakshita vyahatendriyah. That's one word. Prasthite tu vanam pitra datva gam dharma samshrayah षट्त्रिंशत् वर्षसाहस्रं रक्षिता व्याहतेन्द्रियः.
प्रस्थिते तु वनं पित्रा दत्त्वा गां धर्मसंश्रयः षट्त्रिंशद्वर्षसाहस्रं रक्षिता व्याहतेन्द्रियः.
प्रस्थिते तु वनं पित्रा दत्त्वा गां धर्मसंश्रयः षट्त्रिंशद्वर्षसाहस्रं रक्षिता व्याहतेन्द्रियः.
Second, षट् त्रिंशत् वर्ष.
षट्त्रिंशत्
त्रिंशत् वर्ष.
षट्त्रिंशत् वर्ष.
Yeah, exactly. त्वत् भ्रातर युत्तमे नष्टे, comma, मृगयायां तु तन्मनाः अन्वेषन्ति वनं माता, comma, दावाग्निं सा प्रवेक्ष्यति. त्वद्भ्रातर्युत्तमे नष्टे मृगयायां तु तन्मनाः अन्वेषन्ति वनं माता दावाग्निं सा प्रवेक्ष्यति.
त्वद्भ्रातर्युत्तमे नष्टे मृगयायां तु तन्मनाः अन्वेषन्ति वनं माता दावाग्निं सा प्रवेक्ष्यति.
त्वत्प्रादर्युत्तमे नष्टे मृगायायां तु तन्मनाः अन्वेषन्ति वनं माता दावग्निं सा प्रवेक्ष्यति.
इष्ट्वा मां यज्ञहृदयं, comma, यज्ञैः पुष्कलदक्षिणैः भुक्त्वा चेहाशिषस् सत्याः, add a visarga there, सत्याः visarga comma, अन्ते मां संस्मरिष्यसि. इष्ट्वा मां यज्ञहृदयं यज्ञैः पुष्कलदक्षिणैः भुक्त्वा चेहाशिषस् सत्याः अन्ते मां संस्मरिष्यसि.
इष्ट्वा मां यज्ञहृदयं यज्ञैः पुष्कलदक्षिणैः भुक्त्वा चेहाशिषः सत्याः अन्ते मां संस्मरिष्यसि
इष्ट्वा मां यज्ञहृतयं यज्ञै पुष्कलक्षणैः
दक्षिणैः
पुष्कलत् दक्षिणे इष्ट्वा मां यज्ञहृदयं यज्ञै पुष्कलदक्षिणैः भुक्त्वा शेषाशिषसत्याः अन्ते मां
संस्मरिष्यसि ततो गन्तासि मत्स्थानं सर्वलोकनमस्कृतम् उपरिष्टात् I'm just breaking at the dr there. So उपरिष्टात् ऋषिभ्यस्त्वं यतो नावर्तते गतः ततो गन्तासि मत्स्थानं सर्वलोकनमस्कृतम् उपरिष्टात् ऋषिभ्यस्त्वं यतो नावर्तते गतः
ततो गन्तासि मत्स्थानं सर्वलोकनमस्कृतम् उपरिष्टात् ऋषिभ्यस्त्वं यतो नावर्तते गतः
ततो गन्तासि मत्स्थानं सर्वलोकनमस्कृतम् उपरिष्टात् ऋषिभ्यस्त्वं यतो नावर्तते गतः.
We'll just switch and then I'll say the meaning at the end. Sudha, you can be a student if you're there, and then Srividya, Ramesh can be a student. Maitreyo Vacha Ityarchitas sa Bhagavan, put the in there, comma, next word starts with the A. Ati Dishyatmanaf Padam Balasya Pashyato Dhama, comma, Swamagat Garuda Dhvajah. Maitreyo Vacha Ityarchitas Bhagavan Atidishyatmanah Padam Balasya Pashyato Dhama Swamagad Garuda Dhvajah.
मैत्रेयो वाच इत्यच्चितः स भगवान् अतिदिश्यात्मनः पदं बालस्य पश्यतो धाम स्वमगात् गरुडध्वजः
Srividya, are you there? Or? She's on mute. Okay, Sundari, you can do it then.
मैत्रेय उवाच इत्यर्चितः स भगवान् अतिदिश्यात्मनः पदं बालस्य पश्यतो धाम स्वमगाद् गरुडध्वजः
सोऽपि संकल्पजं विष्णोः पादसेवोपसादितं प्राप्य संकल्पनिर्वाणं नातिप्रीतोऽभ्यगात् पुरम्. That's one word. सोऽपि संकल्पजं विष्णोः पादसेवोपसादितं प्राप्य संकल्पनिर्वाणं नातिप्रीतोऽभ्यगात् पुरम्.
सोऽपि संकल्पजं विष्णोः पादसेवोपसादितं प्राप्य संकल्पनिर्वाणं नातिप्रीतोऽभ्यगात् पुरम्
सोऽपि संकल्पजं विष्णोः पादसेवोपसादितं प्राप्य संकल्पनिर्वाणं नातिप्रीतोऽभ्यगात् पुरम्.
विदुरौवाच सुदुर्लभं यत् परमं पदं हरेः visarga comma. Next word on top of the ma, there is a ir that goes away. Maya vinas tach charanarchanarjitam. One word. Charanarchanarjitam. Next word is a long word. Labdvapya siddhartam. You can, up to that ma, you have to say it together. Labdvapya siddhartam ivaika janmana, comma, katham swamatmanam amanyathartavit. So you can break at those mas there. Swam atmanam amanyathartavit. Vidurauvacha sudurlabham yat paramam padam harehe maya vinastat charanarchanarjitam labdvapya siddhartam ivaika janmana katam swamatmanam amanyathartavit.
विदुरौवाच सुदुर्लभं यत् परमं पदं हरेः मायाविनस्तच्चरणार्चनार्जितं लब्ध्वाप्यसिद्धार्थमिवैकजन्मना कथं स्वमात्मानम् अनन्यतार्थवित्
विदुरुवाच सुदुर्लभं यत्परमं पदं हरेः मायाविनस्तच्चरणार्चनार्चितं लब्ध्वाप्यसिद्धार्थम् इवैकजन्मना कथं स्वमात्मानम् कथं स्वम् आत्मानम् अमन्यतार्थवित्.
Yeah, exactly. And in other words, you need to just break it into wherever possible, so you don't have to, Maitreyo vacha matu sapatnya vakbanaihi visarga comma. Next word ir goes away. Hridi vidhastu tan smaran naichan mukti pater muktim comma tasmat tapam upeyivan. Maitreyo vacha matu sapatnya vakbanaihi hridi vidhastu tan smaran naichan mukti pater muktim tasmat tapam upeyivan.
मैत्रेय उवाच मातुः सपत्न्या वाग्बाणैः हृदि विद्धस्तु तान् स्मरन् नैच्छन्मुक्तिपथेर्मुक्तिं तस्मात्तापमुपेयिवान्.
मैत्रेय उवाच मातुः सपत्न्या वाग्बाणैः हृदि विद्धस्तु तान् स्मरन् नैच्छन्मुक्तिपथेर्मुक्तिं तस्मात्तापम् उपेयिवान्.
ध्रुवौ वाचा समाधिना नैक भवेन यत्पदं कम विदुस् सनन्दादय ऊर्ध्व रेतसः मासैरहं षड्भिर् अमुष्य पादयोः. That ish goes away, visarga comma पादयोः. Next word will take a cha sound. Chayam upetyapagath, one word. Chayam upetyapagath pritang matihi. Dhruhau vacha samadhina naika bhavena yatpadham vidusanandadaya urdhvaretasah masairaham shadbhiramushya padayoho chayamupetyapagath pritang matihi.
ध्रुवौ वाच समाधिना नैकभवेन यत्पदं विदुःसनन्ददाय ऊर्ध्वरेतसः मासैरहं षड्भिरमुष्य पादयोः छायामुपेत्यापगतपृतङ्मतिः.
The first line Sudha sanandadaya.
Oh, sanandadaya. Okay.
ध्रुव उवाच समाधिना नैकभवेन यत्पदं विदुःसनन्दादय ऊर्ध्वरेतसः मासैरहं षड्भिरमुष्य पादयोः छायामुपेत्यापगतः पृथङ्मतिः.
अहो भत ममानात्म्यं मन्दभाग्यस्य पश्यत भवच्छिदः पादमूलं गत्वा याचे यदन्तवत्. अहो भत ममानात्म्यं मन्दभाग्यस्य पश्यत भवच्छिदः पादमूलं गत्वा याचे यदन्तवत्.
अहो बत ममानात्म्यं मन्दभाग्यस्य पश्यत भवच्छिदपादमूलं गत्वा याचे यदन्तवत्.
अहो बत ममानात्म्यं मन्दभाग्यस्य पश्यत भवच्छिदः पादमूलं गत्वा याचे यदन्तवत्.
मतिर्विदूषिता देवैः पतद्भिर् असहिष्णुभिः. We can break it that rather. Yo narada vachasthatyam, nagrahisham asattamah. Breaking it that ma. Matir vidushita devaihi patadbhir asahishnubhihi yo narada vachasthatyam nagrahisham asattamah.
मतिर्विदूषिता देवैः पतद्भिर् असहिष्णुभिः यो नारद वचस्तथ्यं नाग्राहिषमसत्तमः.
नाग्राहिषम् असत्तमः.
नाग्राहिषम् असत्तमः.
मतिर्विदूषिता देवैः पतद्भिरसहिष्णुभिः भिरसहिष्णुभिः यो नारदवचस्तथ्यं नाग्राहिषम् असत्तमः
दैवीं मायाम् उपाश्रित्य प्रसुप्त इव भिन्नदृक् तप्ते द्वितीयेऽप्यसति भ्रातृव्य हृद्रुजा. You can make it hrid and ruja if you want. दैवीं मायाम् उपाश्रित्य प्रसुप्त इव भिन्नदृक् तप्ये द्वितीयेऽप्यसति भ्रातृव्य
दैवी मायामुपाश्रित्य प्रसुप्तैव भिन्नदृक् तप्ये द्वितीयेऽप्यसति भ्रातृव्यहृद्रुजा
दैवी मायामुपाश्रित्य प्रसुप्त इव भिन्नदृक् तप्ये द्वितीयेऽप्यसति भ्रातृव्यहृद्रुजा
मयैतत् प्रार्थितं व्यर्थं चिकित्सेव गतायुषि प्रसाद्य जगदात्मानं तपसा दुष्प्रसादनं भवच्छिदम् अयाचेहं, just breaking at that ma, अयाचेहं भावं भाग्य विवर्जितः. मयैतत् प्रार्थितं व्यर्थं चिकित्से भगतायुषि प्रसाद्य जगदात्मानं तपसा दुष्प्रसाधनं भवच्छिदमयाचेहं भवं भाग्य विवर्जितः.
मयैतत् प्रार्थितं व्यर्थं चिकित्सेव गतायुषि प्रसाद्य जगदात्मानं तपसा दुष्प्रसादनं भवच्छिदम् अयाचेहं भवं भाग्यविवर्जितः.
मयैतत् प्रार्थितं व्यर्थं चिकित्सेव गतायुषि प्रसाद्य जगदात्मानं तपसा दुष्प्रसादनं भवच्छिदमयाचेहं भवं भाग्यविवर्जितः.
Swarajyam yachhato maudyat. So that in that is there, that takes a it sound. Maudyat, mano me bhikshito bata ishwarat kshina punyena, phali karan ivadhanah. Swarajyam yachhato maudyat mano me bhikshito bata ishwarat kshina punyena फलीकारानिवाधनः.
स्वाराज्यं यच्छतो मौढ्यात् मानो मे भिक्षितो बत ईश्वरात् क्षीणपुण्येन फलीकारानिवाधनः.
स्वाराज्यं यच्छतो मौढ्यात् मानो मे भिक्षितो बत ईश्वरात् क्षीणपुण्येन फलिकारान् इवाधनः.
फली लॉन्ग
फलीकारान् इवाधनः.
मैत्रेयो वाच न वै मुकुन्दस्य पदारविन्दयोः. I think my book said pada. I think that's padaravindayoho. So you just adjusted it as the word pa there. So it's padaravindayoho. Add a visarga there, Rajo jushastata bhavadrisha janaha vanchanti taddasyamritertam atmano. So taddasyamritertam atmano, yadrichaya labda manas samriddhayaha. Maitreyo vacha na vai mukundasya padaravindayoho rajo jushastata bhavadrisha janaha vanchanti tadhasyam ritertamatmano yadrichaya labdha manas samriddhayaha.
मैत्रेय उवाच न वै मुकुन्दस्य पदारविन्दयोः रजोजुषस्तात भवादृशा जनाः वाञ्छन्ति तद्दास्यमृतेऽर्थमात्मनो यदृच्छया लब्धमनः समृद्धयः.
मैत्रेय उवाच न वै मुकुन्दस्य पदारविन्दयोः रजोजुषस्तात भवादृशा जनाः वाञ्छन्ति तद्दास्यमृतेऽर्थमात्मनो यदृच्छया लब्धमनः समृद्धयः.
Couple more stanzas and stop. Akarnyatmajam, break at that ma. Akarnyatmajam ayantam, Samparetya yatagatam Rajana Shraddhade Bhadram im, comma. Next word starts with A. Abhadrasya kuto mama. Akarnyatmajamayantam Samparetya yatagatam Rajana Shraddhade Bhadram Abhadrasya kuto mama.
आकर्ण्यात्मजमायान्तं सम्परेत्य यथागतं राजान श्रद्धते भद्रम् अभद्रस्य कुतो मम
आकर्ण्यात्मजमायान्तं सम्परेत्य यथा गतं राजा न श्रद्धते भद्रम् अभद्रस्य कुतो मम
Shraddhaya Vakyam Devarshehe Visarga comma. Next line, the ir will go away. Next word. Harsha Vegena Dharshitaha Varta Hartur Ati Prito. You can break it that rather. Varta Hartur Ati Prito, comma. Haram Pradhan Mahadhanam. Shraddhaya Vakyam Devarshehe Harsha Vegena Dharshitaha Varta Harturati Prito Haram Pradhan Mahadhanam.
श्रद्धाय वाक्यं देवर्षेः हर्षवेगेन दर्शितः वार्ताहर्तेरतिप्रीतो हारं प्रादान् महाधनम्
Second line, first word. Varta Hartur Ati Prito.
वार्ताहर्तुरतिप्रीतो हारं प्रादान् महाधनम्
So நீங்க ஒரு எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஒரு ir ஆட் பண்ற மாதிரி இருக்கு. Varta Hartur.
वार्ता हर्तुर अति करेक्ट
Varta correct.
श्रद्धाय वाक्यं देवर्षेः हर्षवेगेन धर्षितः वार्ता हर्तुर् अतिप्रीतो हारं प्रादान् महाधनम्.
Okay, we'll stop here. Let's quickly say the meaning, whatever we can, the next 5-6 minutes. So we saw till the Dhruva Stuti, right? So Dhruva does the Stuti there. So next, then Bhagavanu Vacha. Then after that, 13 minutes. Yeah. So Maitreya says with this, Bhagavan then starts to talk. So then Bhagavan is saying that, okay, you have done everything. I'm here because you have executed kind of whatever vows that you took properly. And he says, I know what is in your mind, because you don't have to go tell what you have in your mind. Bhagavan knows it. So he says, I know what you have in your mind. And which was Dhruva's, if you remember, he said that I want something greater than what my father has and greater than what my grandfather had, Manu. So he says, Bhagavan says, what you have wished for is very ambitious, right? Because you have wished for something which is very difficult to fulfill. But he says, it's my responsibility to fulfill what is in your mind, right? So one thing, when they do this pravachanam, they always say that you should not tell how you need Bhagavan to execute your wish, even if you're asking for a wish, let's say, because you don't know how that wish has to be executed. You can say what your wish is, but don't worry about what has to happen for that wish, because your Dhruva has no idea how he can be greater than Manu. But in his mind, he had a wish. So he says, it's very difficult outcome that you want, but I will make that happen. So he says, I am going to make you the owner eventually of this place called as Dhruva Loka. He says, at the end of the Kalpa of Brahma, when lot of these 14 worlds get dissolved, right? This Dhruva Loka will never get dissolved. It will remain at the end of Brahma. Of course, at the end of the life of Brahma, everything goes away. So even Dhruva Loka will not exist at that time. But this Dhruva Loka will be there even at the end of the life of Brahma. Because with all of this thing, this region is still there. And I'll tell you what the region is in a few stanzas down. This region is still there, but it doesn't have an owner right now. He says there's nobody ruling over that region. And he says that is the region which everybody, that's why it says Shuka and Shukracharya and Kashyapa and all of that names will come there. Dharmogni, Kashyapa, Shukro. So all of these people, they rule various planets and everything. That all circumambulates or goes around that Dhruva Loka with it's on its right. So it always goes around, and on its right, Dhruva Loka will always be there. So with this way, that is the highest one can actually achieve here, right? And then Bhagavan now tells Dhruva what is going to happen. He says, you will go back home right now after this. After a few years, your father is going to go over to the forest. When your father goes over to the forest, he's going to hand you over the kingdom. Once he hands you over the kingdom, Shat Trimsha Sahasram. So 36,000 years you're going to rule. as the ruler of that entire kingdom. And then, of course, he says, your senses and everything, the knowledge you have gained now will continue to be there. You will not lose it, right? And then you will perform a lot of sacrifices and a lot of austerities and everything. So you will not lose any of those things. You will get it. He says, some point in your future, your brother Uttama is going to go to the forest. And in that forest, he's going to go hunting. He's going to be killed. When he's in the hunting, looking for that Uttama, his mother Suruchi is going to go, and then Davagni, she will get burnt in a forest fire, right? And then you will, however, continue to rule through all of this. And in the very end, stanza 24, Bhuktva cheha shisha satyaha antema samsmarishyasi. He says, at the time of when your time at this earth comes to an end, you will remember me. So that is a big blessing, right? Bhagavan is telling that you will remember me when your time is actually coming at the very end. With that, you will come, and then you will come back to my world, right? So this is the indication of what this Dhruva Loka is, because it's a world which won't get destroyed at the end of the Kalpa of Brahma. Because when we spoke about these various universes, we said there is a Vishnu who enters into each of this Brahmandam. And then that Vishnu owns or rules over that Brahmandam. That Vishnu is in this place called Vishnu Loka, also called as Shweta Deepa. So in that Shweta Deepa, Vishnu Loka is the assumption that this Dhruva Loka is, because that doesn't get dissolved at the end of every Kalpa of Brahma. So that is the assumption of what it is. So with that, you will come back to my abode of that Vishnu Loka at the end of your current life here, right? So that is a message that Bhagavan is telling us. So we'll stop here, because after that there is a thought process that Dhruva goes to, which we'll go next class. Om Hare Namaha, Hare Namaha, Hare Namaha. Gopika Jeevana Smaranam, Govinda Govinda. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. काहेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rajesh.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Rajesh.
Rajesh.
Bye.
Rajesh.
Okay, Shivratri.
Happy Shivratri, everyone. Bye.